As I told you when before the movie started, my name is Karena Edwards, and thank you all for coming out tonight. I do many medical mission trips. This past November, I just did my 9th short-term medical mission over there to Bihar, India, where I stayed 3 days in an orphanage with 52 children and was able to do medical not only for the orphans, but also for children outside the orphanage. On that trip, I actually came to the realization that I'm actually supposed to be over there more full-time. So after much prayer, my husband and I decided that I was able to quit my job at Sacred Heart Hospital, which I did December 27th, and I was actually going to do more volunteer work here in Pensacola, Florida, but actually had a notice come across my Facebook page from Rahab's Road and said that they were looking for full-time people in India. So with that, I said, that's God talking to me.
That's a tough question as to what I expect her to get out of this. Probably just more what she's gotten out of this to this point. And when they say Iron Woman, she is. You see, like when she was working as a nurse, that it would just beat her down. And people go, how is she going to go on a mission trip? But when she's over there, she has unlimitless energy. That's all the people say. She's the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going. Nothing stops her. So that's what I hope. She just gets more of the same, more of that, that life fulfilling. Because if that's what she's supposed to be doing, then that's what she's supposed to be doing.
So I went ahead and filled out the application, and it took forever actually to get the thumbs up that I was actually accepted. And I think that was probably the worst part of the whole thing, was the waiting. But in the waiting, I think that was God trying to remind me that it's His time, not my time. And He did call me to do this. So if He's called you to do it, He's going to make it happen for you. And so you just need to be patient and wait. And it's His time, not your time. And so they finally did give me a thumbs up. And when you are applying to something like this, whether it be with a small group like Rahab's Road or the international missions like the Baptist, the IMB or something like that, International Mission Board, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops and interviews and application process and stuff. And I wasn't used to that because I had done the short-term missions with the other group that I had gone with, Net India, or I forgot their new name now. But with that group, so it was waiting and stuff like that. But now that I'm on board with them, I'm excited and can't wait to go.
When Mom first went to India, that's when I was upset. But through all of the trips going and then me going with her and seeing, it's when she's here in America, it's almost like she's weak and fragile and she's my little mommy with MS. It's when she goes to India, it's like, sometimes it's like her MS doesn't even exist. It's just like, she's just one strong person. She's got a cane and she just billy goats through the mountains and she's just trekking, and she'll be up there ahead of us carrying 2 backpacks, and she's good to go, and she'll ride a horse. And so it's like when she's there, it's like she's well. And then when she's here, it's like, Mom, me.
That's a technical term.
Me. Here. When she leaves in the morning while I'm in class, and then when I get home from work and Mom isn't there, I think I'll still be okay with it because she's gone before. I've gone with her. I know most of the things that go on there, so I think I see it from a different point of view. Like I know when you're in India, you kind of stop relying on everything what you can do for yourself, and it's really you have to rely on everything God. So I know she'll be okay.
Mom's been doing this for a while now. Normally it's 10 days. Last one I think she went for close to a month. Close to a month. That one was hard for me just because of her MS and its progression and her treatment. So that's been a little difficult for me. But I'm coming to acceptance that she's leaving. And I was a little peeved prior to like 2 weeks ago because she wasn't going to come home until January. But since then, her plans have changed. She's going somewhere else, as she said, and she'll be coming home in November for the birth of her first Korean child. So I feel better about it now. I'm just a worrywart, and I get that from her mother. So I'm okay with it now. And I know she's doing what she loves, and she's going to be helping people and serving the Lord, and that's ultimately what is important here. So
I mean, it will be very different what I will experience on this trip versus what I've done on other trips, because every other trip I've been on has been so far out into the bush, so very rural, and now I'll be big city. I'll be like that girl.
fancy.
So it's going to be a totally different trip to experience. So I've been back in the U.S. since November 22nd, so I've been home just a little over a month, and actually I'm getting ready to go back to India on Sunday, or December 28th, which is hard to believe. It's exciting to go back, but also a little sad. So having a new grandbaby and realizing that I'm gonna miss out on a lot. So he has shown me over and over and over again the whole faith and believing thing, because over there I've seen it over again, praying for people and miracles happening. It's going to be 9 months. I won't be back to the States for 9 months now. So it's going to be a long time.
But you can do it.
I can do it. So, and my doctor, my neurologist was very pleased. The new medicine I'm on, I've had less lesions. So the new medicine's doing great. So, and I don't think it's just the new medicine. I can't remember the scripture reference that Pastor Jeff had shared. I know it was Isaiah something, but that he used. But basically, it said, if you're doing God's work, He's gonna keep you strong and keep you healthy. And I fully believe that I'm doing His work, and He's keeping me strong.
Three words to describe my time here in India. Precious. Jehovah Jireh. And not long enough. sharing Jesus with them isn't always words. Sharing Jesus with them is a smile. Sharing Jesus with them is a bowl of rice, a hot shower, shoes on their feet, education on how to have clean water, education period, having a building in the middle of the slum where you can sing Bible songs with them about Jesus. It's important for us to come to encourage them to go work in the slums, to help the children. Yeah, it's important. And then for discipleship, they can very easily, they say that they accept Christ. It's very easy for them to just plug Jesus on to the end of, the rest of their gods. So it's very rewarding when you actually see them take those gods outside and actually get rid of them. And then for the pastors to be able to disciple them and help them to grow, and you're seeing them reading their Bible and actually growing. And we have seen pastors discipling them, but as I shared with Stephen, we don't really know if they are growing in Christ, or have they truly accepted. Only God knows that. So we won't really know the truth until we are in heaven and see them. So all we can do is plant the seeds and reap the harvest. They need to truly get into this century. They have these laws on the books. Get rid of the caste system. Get rid of the brothels. Get rid of this, get rid of that. But they're not truly living by them. Because they're such an ancient country, and I always say this, they're such an ancient country, they're still living by their ancient ways due to their culture. They have such a younger generation here. The younger generation needs to get out of the ancient ways and actually join this century and be rid of those ancient ways and actually get rid of mainly this caste system, so that everybody can be treated as an equal. Because nobody is lesser than a dog. I mean, we were all created in His image. So, how can you think of a human being being less than an animal? That's insane. So, I love animals, but you can't think, I love humans. So, you've only been here a week. I've been here for 6-7 months. So the endurance, it waxes and wanes. Definitely you do get pumped on adrenaline. Believe me, at the camp today, in the hot box, it was definitely waning. And then, getting back here, getting a good meal in you get your second wind. So, definitely the first week I was here, I was like you, having the days almost falling asleep at the table and stuff like that. So, but all in all, My joke is Sleep and I are good friends, so I usually get back on, I get onto the schedule pretty quick. My going home is worse than anything, going back to the States. John always makes fun of me because the first week that I'm home, I pretty much sleep 24/7. So when I actually go home, he says he wants to work it to where I go home when he's gone on a drill weekend up to Norfolk, so that he won't be there to just sit there and watch me sleep. So, yeah, that's the endurance thing. Plus, I mean, when you're doing what you love, I think it's easy to keep up the endurance. But my IV treatments are going well, and the hospital's being well with me. They've actually asked me to do some teaching at the hospital, so will I get paid for it? Who knows? So, but it would just be neat to do some teaching there, so we'll see what happens with that. And, of course, the separation's hard, especially with Piper. You know, she's going on 5 months now, I think. So that's hard, and missing John, and Jordan, just missing the whole family. But Skype is a wonderful thing. John and I talk every day, so that's definitely something that has helped get through that. When it's definitely difficult when we don't get to talk. This week has been hard in that sense because we haven't gotten to talk. I don't think I've talked to him at all this week, so that's been hard. I've texted a couple of times, but that's it. So it'll be nice to get home and be able to actually talk. So, and looking forward to the days. I think it's 25 days till I get to go to London and see him. So, counting down those days. I'm sad that it's almost over. I mean, I'm happy that I'm going to be going home, but it's, this is home. Even when I went home at Christmas, I mean, the States don't feel like home. This feels more like home to me. And it's just a matter of time before, I'll be here full time. So